Hello, my name is Seba from my Minecraft YouTube channel. Today I present you this amazing tunnel bore design for the Minecraft Bedrock edition and also show step by step how you can build this too in your world. My goal is to share my gameplay and my designs so we can inspire each other and have more fun playing this game together. With this industrial sized tunnel bore, you'll be able to gather a ton of ancient debris. So much so you can upgrade all your gear, making it more durable and also fire and lava resistant. And especially a big setup like this is great to get netherite blocks, which are pretty expensive. It's a good looking block. What I use them for in my world is to build a netherite beacon base. Getting a full netherite beacon is one of the coolest and most epic achievements in Minecraft. So, before building, let me show you the features of this machine. This tunnel bore has 8 arms, as you may have seen, and you can activate it from both sides by opening the trap chests. It dispenses the TNT and launches it in the perfect time to make it explode mid-air far in front of the machine. This will expose ancient debris from the best possible levels, which are Y level 8 to Y level 17. On these levels you can find up to 5 times more ancient debris than on other levels in the Nether. Next, this tunnel bore is designed in a way to be blow-up proof. Normally the machine works flawlessly, of course. However, we are humans, sometimes we make mistakes. Maybe we build something wrong, don't see some gravel falling down, or miss out some ancient debris from the front of the machine. So with this design, only very little can ever blow up. It's deliberately spaced, so you never have to rebuild anything from back there. You would only have to replace 5 to 6 blocks here in the front, which takes like 30 seconds. It will save you a lot of headache, and you don't always have to double and triple check everything before launching. By the way, don't worry if you don't yet have all of the ancient debris for these arms in the front. You can use Cobblestone to start out, and after like 30 to 40 minutes of running this thing, you will be able to replace all of it. Then you can modify the tip of the machine so that it only uses 50% of the TNT. And it's very simple and looks like this. Next, if you look at it from the front, you can see the machine is very slim. And here on the bottom, they are all non-sticky blocks that won't grab onto anything. This will cause that you won't have to remove any blackstone if you run it at the 100% TNT mode. Next, as you can see, we are dragging along 16 zombies, or in this case drowners. This makes it so that no skeletons and no ghasts will spawn and harass you, and you can mine in peace, and also your armor doesn't get excessively damaged. Now we will begin the tutorial. I have a materials list for the build in the video description. Before we begin, we need to prepare our nether. For this, we go down to Y level 12. On this level, we're gonna clear an area that is 70 blocks in one direction and 50 blocks in the other direction and 2 blocks high. In this direction, where we have 50 blocks only, is the direction the tunnel bore is gonna go at. Before we dig out more on top, we will bring our zombies down so the skeletons and ghasts don't spawn while we build our machine. We're gonna take our zombies from the overworld. But watch out, you can't take zombies that spawned under the sky on the surface. It's important to take zombies that spawned in a cave. The easiest way to do that is go to a zombie dungeon spawner. I'll leave a link in the video description that will help you find a zombie spawner if you haven't yet found one. Here we build another portal and then go through. On the other side, put down rails leading to the dugout area. Right at the portal, put powered rails and turn them off, and place minecarts to then catch the zombies. Make sure the rails lead all the way down to your boring area. Back at our spawner, we're gonna name tag zombies so they never despawn and make them walk into our nether portal. You can also use water streams or minecarts or boats. Important is just that they go through the portal. After sending through the first few zombies, go to the other side, make sure they enter their minecarts, place down some more if that doesn't work, then activate the rails and follow them down to your area. We do this until we got at least 16 zombies. Check again if they're all named. Now we can kill all the skeletons down here and no more should spawn. I put a row of blocks around them to protect them from flowing lava while I dig out another 2 blocks of the roof. Right above the zombies, the blocks can stay like that, it's okay to leave it only 2 blocks right there. The last thing before we start placing blocks is the alignment of the machine. This is only important if you are playing on simulation distance 4. If you are playing on simulation distance 6 or higher, you can skip this entire step. You can see your simulation distance in the settings of your game. We have to do this because of how Minecraft loads the world around you. The tunnel bore is big and it has to be loaded all the time when running. For more details, I'll leave you a link to a video in the description that explains how Minecraft loads around you. And another video with how you can find those so-called chunk borders. If you aren't familiar with them, please go and watch those videos and then come back. I've now marked the chunk borders of 4 chunks in my area. This is exactly 64 blocks long and goes along the 70 blocks wide side. Should one of the 4 chunks reach into the wall a bit, mark it anyway and then dig out the rest of the wall there too. Basically, the entire tunnel bore is going to fit into this 4 chunk wide area. From the chunk border, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On number 8, we're placing an observer facing into the ground, slime block or honey block on top, piston facing forward, sticky piston facing backwards like this, and another one just like that. Then we're gonna come around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, an observer into the ground again. Number 8, slime block on top, piston facing forward, sticky piston to the side facing backwards again, and another just as before. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, observer into the ground, slime block on top, regular piston facing forwards, sticky piston on the side facing backwards, and another one just as before. We are repeating this until we have 8 regular pistons facing forward. Here is the 4th one, and just as before, the sticky pistons. You can use slime blocks for these, or if you're short you can also use honey blocks. For this part it doesn't matter. Now we have 5 regular pistons facing forward. Just as before, the sticky pistons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Observer into the ground, block on top, piston, sticky piston, sticky piston. Now for the last one, just as before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Observer into the ground, slime block on top, piston forward, and only this sticky piston. The one on the side, we can leave it be. Go back and check if everything looks alright as it should. Then where we started, 1, 2, 3 slime blocks. Now a temporary little setup to test it. Block like this, piston on top, and the button. Now if you press the button, everything should move forward for 1 block and all the pistons should activate. Great! Now we're gonna build the spacers to the front that will then push forward our TNT dispensers. Temporary block, ancient debris, or you can take the cobblestone if you don't have it yet. Then an observer facing into the ancient debris, another block spacing, and then the piston facing forward. Just like this. Do this for all 8 forward facing pistons. Now we come around to the back side where the sticky pistons are facing us. Right in front of it, place 1 observer facing downwards. Leave 1 block in between. Observer number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On top of all of them, you can use a slime block or a honey block again, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on top of all the observers. Then sticky pistons in between them like this, so they all face backwards. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and another one at the end, plus another honey or slime block. Just like this. We're gonna build another one together. Right in front of the sticky piston, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 observers. Honey block or slime blocks on top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sticky pistons in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 at the end, plus another block. You want to do this for all the 8 backwards facing sticky pistons, and then it should all look nice and aligned like that. Now we're gonna build the tip from our forward pushing piston at the front. Leave one gap, place an observer on the ground. Now those have to be honey blocks right here. A dispenser, another honey block, just like that. Again, on the front floor, observer like this, honey block, dispenser, another honey block. Do this also for all 8 forward facing pistons. After you've done this for all 8, go through them again, check if all the dispensers are facing upwards and if all the observers are facing outside like this. Then we're gonna go to the back of our tails, extend this last block to the right like this, observer facing backwards out of the machine, piston facing forward, temporary block, one solid block, and again an observer facing into it, piston looking forward, temporary block, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solid blocks, and then another observer facing inwards and a piston facing forward, temporary block. And then if you have slime blocks at the bottom, you need to take honey blocks on top. If you have honey blocks on the bottom, you need to take slime blocks on top. Or you could also use glazed terracotta for those 3 that I just placed now. The idea is that they don't stick right there. Then our 5 ancient debris, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a slime block on top. This must be a slime block. If this is honey, then the TNT would stick to it. Okay, make another one together. Extend this one block to the right. Observer facing backwards. Piston facing forwards to us. Temporary block, one solid block. Observer, piston, temporary block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8. Observer, piston facing forward, and then our 3 honey blocks here above the slime blocks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those can be cobblestone in the beginning, as I said. And then our slime block on top of the honey above the dispenser. Don't forget to remove the temporary blocks. And repeat this for all 8 modules. After we build this 8 times, we're gonna come back around. Gonna look over the machine to check if we didn't forget to remove any temporary blocks in between, and to see if everything is nice and aligned. At the front, at the dispensers, we're now gonna put in any old block just to test if it can spit it out before we test it with TNT. For this, come around to our little temporary place where we push the machine forward with the button. Now everything moves forward, and also the slime blocks on top, they should move all nice and timed, just like that. Now we check if everything came out. This looks great. Also the slime blocks on top are all nice and aligned. And we come around and look at the back of the machine, and it's everything as we built it up. Great. Of course, we will now test it with TNT. I suggest you put in one single block into every dispenser. We're gonna come back around. I'm gonna place another temporary pushing piston to test it again. Button on top. And fire. That looks perfect. Okay, now we're gonna build the engine. We can use our piston we had to test it. Right behind it, gonna put a slime block, a sticky piston facing backwards right next to the machine, slime block back there. Then on top there comes an observer facing upwards, with the back of it facing into the slime block below. Temporarily remove this and then place a forward facing piston like this. On the bottom, place a slime block and a trapped chest. In front of the slime block and under the slime block, remove the floor so that it doesn't stick to it. This one as well. And now you can test it again by opening the trap chest. It should move forward automatically. And the machine should follow. Now for the engine on the other side of the machine. I came around to the other side. Here is the end of it. Gonna count the observers, 2, 3, 4. After the fourth observer, place a honey block or a slime block. At the bottom I again mined out the floor a bit so that nothing will stick to it. I will come around and now on the honey block I placed an observer facing inwards, a temporary block and then a piston facing forward like this. Here, a slime block or honey block with a sticky piston facing backwards, another one. And now on the bottom I mined out some more. We're gonna put a slime block and then a trapped chest again. In principle it's the same as on the other side, just the orientation is a little bit different. And an observer facing right into it like this. Now we are gonna connect the two. I will put up a picture on the screen where you can see with the spacings in between how we're gonna build it. And you can use either honey blocks or slime blocks for those. As we've just seen on the picture, we're now gonna connect the two. There's one already behind the sticky piston. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An observer facing into the ground. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 around. An observer into the ground. They should all face with their bums upwards into the slime blocks. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 again. Observer into the ground. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3 around. 4, 5, 6, 7. Observer into the last block. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Observer again on the last block. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Observer. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Observer again. Sticky piston again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Forgot the observer. Sticky piston. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Around like this, and the last one. Then an observer like that, and the piston facing forward. Temporary block 1. Solid block 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And an observer at the end should come right up to the piston on the other engine. I've now put in some more TNT into the dispensers to test it. make sure you stand within your chunk. Later it won't be an issue because the tunnel won't be as wide, but now at the beginning don't stand too far back when activating the trapped chest. Goes forward, dispenses all the TNT. And now if we come back around, looks good. Yes, this observer right there pushed the piston forward. Now we can activate it from this side. The signal travels around, activates the main engine on the other side. And everything looks good. Here should still be one spacing. One other note to this connection between the two engines. Make sure that those are two different blocks so they don't stick together, either honey or slime or honey. But basically you can build the entire row looping back around from either honey blocks or slime blocks. At here and the end, those can't be the same either as at the back of it, because they can move up pretty closely there. So now I have honey here and slime on the back, that works fine. From the back of our machine we're gonna go to where there are only 7 slime blocks here between the two sticky pistons. Gonna place a regular piston forwards where the observer is, temporary block, a honey block or a slime block, doesn't matter, an observer right there, and a piston looking forward, temporary block, honey block or slime blocks, 3 like this. Remove the blocks below again so they don't stick as we move the machine forward. Then make this a little bit bigger, a row, and then one at the peak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walls like this. On top of the honey block, 3 solid blocks. Okay. Now in order to throw in our zombies, I dug out a bit of the blocks there on top to make a room for them. Build a little staircase for them so they can easily find their way into our little pod. Just build a little stair like this. Make a little pathway. Here walls on the side so they don't fall down. Put a trapdoor right there. Make a little platform over here for me to land. Make this 2 blocks high here. Place another trapdoor there if you want. Now I got myself some ender pearls to help lure the zombies in. Can take my pickaxe and destroy their minecarts. Now they will follow me. Basically I'm now gonna go up the stairs and teleport over to my little landing area, and they will all walk over the trap chest and fall into our pod. Once we got all of the 16 zombies lured in like this, we can take away our temporary little setup again, right here, take away the trapdoors and clean up all the blocks around. Now we are all done. I suggest you start off by putting in maybe half a stack of TNT, and then we can start firing away. Now I'm gonna show you how I usually run this. So I'm right now at the left side of the machine. I'm gonna push the trapped chest. Watch until it all fires. And now there's some lava pouring out of the wall. Whenever lava pours out of the wall, I'm gonna give it 3 more launches. Like this. 1, 2, then I observe the arm on top, just give it another shot. This is the 3rd one right now. Now I'm taking a bucket, or you can use blocks to remove the lava. This is a bit tedious. It is how it is. And collect all the ancient debris. Check on the roof, come to the other side, open the trap chest, and now you have to wait for the signal to travel around. You can see now the first piston on the other side shut, then you can open the trap chest here again. After the first arm went off, you can open this again, and the signal will have enough time to travel around. Okay, now we see the first lava in the wall. One was already on the way, gave another shot. This came around there, and now the 3rd one. And then I would go on the front of the machine and collect again. Now I will show you the modification to save TNT. For this you wanna remove this observer, replace it with a piston, place a temporary block, slime block or honey block in front of it, and an observer like this. To shield it, place some ancient debris in front of it. Alright. Now it will only fire TNT every other time. Now it didn't fire. The next one, it will fire. As a bonus, I will show you a prototype to also block hoglin spawns. These only spawn in the crimson biomes, so you won't have them around all the time. Nevertheless, they can be a bit annoying. It's very similar to the zombie one, just a little bit bigger. Maybe this can be improved some more. I also would have to test it some more. I didn't test it a whole bunch, but I think it should work. If you really want, leave a comment down below and I can test it more and do a tutorial on it. On the back of the machine on the other side, there's another section where there are only 7 honey blocks there between. And there's an observer at the end. We're gonna place 1 observer right next to it facing downwards and 2 pistons on the front of them. Then in front of those, a honey and the slime blocks alternated like this, with also 2 observers below, 2 pistons in the front, and then the structure like this with slime blocks and honey blocks and the walls around. On top we can build 2 honey blocks and then glazed terracotta, 2 slime blocks on the other side, glazed terracotta, and then 4 blocks on top like this. Then we will put in the hoglins like we put in the zombies very similarly, and they will get pushed along with the tunnel bore. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like. I hope you can build this in your world and have as much fun with it as I do. If you have a question or concern, leave a comment, or if you want to give some feedback, I'll be happy to read it. Alright, take care.